What's up, guys? It's Missy. I just recorded a video for you guys and I noticed that my mic sounds like crap. So I am going to try to talk a little bit louder, and if I'm screaming in your ear, I apologize, but hopefully this works until I can get a different microphone. So one of the things that I wanted to talk to you guys about was the mistakes that I made early on and why certain things are so important. So I get a lot of basically the same questions or the same concerns from the people that come in and out of my club and the people that comment on my videos or people that I talk to in general. So one of the things is epic projects. They are super important. You've heard me talk about them hundreds of times in my videos. I have videos on how to hit epics, hit gold in under an hour. They are not as torturous as they seem to be, especially if you're somebody who doesn't know, what you're doing. So you started one and you're like, oh my God, this is terrible. Why would anybody want to do this? You're doing something wrong. Okay. I do have, like I said, I have a video explaining that. And I just wanted to briefly touch base on that again. Now, when you first look at an epic project, you will see a symbol like the hat right there on my regional maps. This means that I have an epic project that I can start on whatever map I have that symbol on. So let's say that I wanted to start one on the Sunny Valley. Now, each time that you pick an epic of the same category on the same map, it's going to charge you money every time that you do it. So each time you pay for it, it's going to go up. Okay? So, for example, if you notice, I have a lot of the beach type buildings here. A lot of them are 1s and 2s. Now, for the purpose of this video, I'm going to go ahead and leave them out. But normally you would want to store all your 1s and 2s, because you want to put out all your 3s, 4s, and 5s if you have them. So right here it says entertainment, specialization, entertainment. A lot of people just pay the coins and they start their epic and they're like, oh, this category sucks, blah, blah. Don't do that. Hit change. It'll ask you to pay however many amount of coins. Now it's at gambling, okay? I'm going to hit change again because I don't want to do gambling. Now it's at beach. This is where I want it to be. If you're hitting change and you're noticing that the category that you are trying to do is not popping up, that is because the building in which you are trying to start your epic is not close enough to that category that you're trying to start it in. So let's say that I was to pick this house up and move it further away from the beach. I could sit there and pay and pay and pay, and it'll never hit that category. So pick that building up, put it as close to the category that you want, and then hit change. Now, as you can see here, it says duration is 24 hours. That means that I have 24 hours to complete the epic. If you hit gold, it'll automatically transform. If you hit silver, you have to wait for the duration of the 24 hours for it to stop. So it's asking for 6,000 coins to start. And the reason it's asking for that is because I have several beach epics in this map, and they're all right here. If I was on my capital map, it would go based off of however many I have on that map. Now, before you start your epic, you're going to want to look into your inventory here and try to sell anything that is very easily obtainable on global. Okay, so like if you have hamburgers or ice cream, fries, all that kind of crap taken up in your storage, put all that for sale in your depot and try to stock up on things that have more rarity. Okay, this will depend on what level you are, but for example, if you're like me and you're high level and you have things like microwaves unlocked, backpacks, you're going to want to stock up on those. And don't even start your epic until you're ready, because 1, you only have 24 hours to complete it, and 2, the Epic seems to know what you don't have, and it asks for that item. So don't even start it until you have a well-rounded stock of items, okay? Now, you're gonna, like I said, you're gonna want to put all the other stuff on sale. So try to stock up on things like beef, popcorn. If you have any regional maps unlocked, you're going to want regional items, because for me, I have noticed, I've done a lot of epics, okay? And I've noticed that in every epic I've done, it asks for regional items, and it asks for a lot of them. I had one, it asked for like 25 of my buildings were asking for 5 yoga mats a piece. It was ridiculous. Thankfully, I was close to finishing, so I was able to put out other buildings and kind of work my way around it. But the other thing is, based off of the tier that you have completed, we'll go to the difficulty. So if you're at bronze, the difficulty is going to be fairly low. If you're just hit silver, you're probably doing okay, going, oh, this isn't too bad. But silver to gold is a whole different ballpark. So if you had trouble hitting silver and you're like, well, maybe I'll try for gold, don't even bother unless you have enough coins and you have enough stuff in your storage. A lot of people will start an epic with, 10,000 coins. Don't do that. You will never finish, not very comfortably anyway. You'll be struggling and suffering through it. So I noticed that on average, it costs me, with a full inventory, and this is not including the price it costs to start, I usually run about 200,000 coins per epic, okay? And that's with me knowing what I'm doing. So if you're somebody who doesn't have a lot of coins and you're higher level, you might want to reconsider doing an epic until you have some coins stocked up. This is why I tell people to start your epics at low level. You have less items unlocked. It will make the difficulty level so much easier. So that being said, let's go ahead and start this epic. Now I paid the 6,000. The timer started. I hit show tasks. Now every building in the beach category is going to be requesting items. Okay. Now you see how some of these don't have a pointer. They don't have a bubble over the top. This is why I tell you guys to store some of your buildings, because let's say that these are 3-pointers. They aren't even requesting items because I have my 2s and my 1s out. Okay. So I actually have to donate to this item, to this building. The bubble will go away, and then I'm able to actually pick the item up, or the building up, and store it. But I cannot store it if I haven't already donated the item. So I hit this, there is no storage button. That means that whatever it's asking for, you got to get rid of first. Now, your 3-pointers, you're going to want to donate to all your 3s first. Okay. So go through, get your 3s done. New buildings will pop up. See how it's only asking for 2 glass for that 3? This one wants 4 backpacks. Okay, so I'm going to hold off on that one because it's only worth 2 points. And like I said, normally I would not leave these out. I did that for the purpose of the video. So you're going to want to make sure that you look up which buildings you have the most of. So, and also don't do what I did and pick the category in which you have the most epic pointers. Do it the one that you like the look of. Okay, so go look up the building poster online, and then you'll see that one wants 2 cream. That one wants 2 cupboards. I know the one over there wanted cupboards. That's face cream. That's a regional item. I'm going to hold off. See, that only wants 1 fry. I'm already at 20 points. And that one's 1 fridge. That's super easy to get on global. See, now there's some more cupboards, hats. More cupboards. So it looks like cupboards is going to be something that's going to pop up quite a bit. That regional item is very expensive. So there, see, more regional items popping up here. That was a $4,000 donation just on that building alone. See, there's the backpacks. I got 3 points for those. That one was okay. So, and if you have anything in your other maps, so let's say you have beach items, beach specialization on some of your other maps, you can actually store them and bring them over to this map and lay them out to make your stuff easier. These are worth 1 point a piece, so I'm just going to store those before they even pop up. Otherwise, I'm going to have a hell of a time getting them in there later. If you notice that, you're having trouble, you can actually purchase items after you've done, or buildings after you've started your epics. So I've noticed that the merman statue is worth 3 points and it only costs 20 gold keys. That is a popular one to buy. And then there is this one right here. It's 22 keys, but as you can see, it's a lot smaller, so you can fit a lot more. So if you notice when you go to travel at other people's cities and you see like tons of this one building, that's probably because it has a good pop boost and good epic points, and they are doing that solely for their epics. The beach delta is worth 4 points. I do have that on my capital map. If I wanted to go and pick it up and bring it over to this map, it could help me during my epic. And you can actually have several epics going at once. So if I wanted to go to my other map, I could start the epic over there. I don't recommend doing that. It's just not a good idea, because surprisingly, and I know a lot of you low-level people are going to think I'm crazy, but when you unlock your storage and you're at like 750 like me, you would think that that's a lot. And you're like, oh my God, I wouldn't know what to do with 750. No, trust me, it's not. And I'm going to tell you why. You have your raw materials, all right, which is the ones like textiles, glass, plastic, things like that's your raw materials. Then you have your general items, and then you have your rares, okay? Now, if you are somebody who is still upgrading your storage, odds are you need at a minimum of 25 storage pieces a piece to do the next upgraded. That's the highest it goes, okay? Now, that is 75 space in itself. So at some point, you're going to have 75 space taken up with just storage alone. Now, odds are, like me, you're going to have some that you have a lot more of. So like I have 35 bars, but I only have 9 cameras. Then you have your dozer. Then you have your VU. And then, London, Tokyo, Paris, beach, mountain, all these rares that you're trying to hold on to do your upgrades. And they're taking up, look at my dozer alone takes up almost 300 of my storage. So then there's 400, it's about 500 to 600 is taken up with rares. And so then I have 150 to 200 that I'm working with for normal items. And then you have your rare or your raw items. Now, raw items, if you're playing the game properly, you should constantly have a lot of brown textiles and a lot of seeds, donuts, sugar, things like that. And the reason for that is because flour and donut production is going to be your main moneymaker. So brown techs are actually like gold to you because they are used in so many of your shops. A lot of people, for whatever reason, sell the brown textiles. They will make them for comm and they'll throw them up for cheap. And I'm just astounded because it's so much money you're throwing away, Like, for example, one of the things that you need to make your main flour is the brown textiles. Then you have your caps, shoes, blue text, beach chairs, lawn chairs, whatever you call them. Suits, if you make them. Just lots of stuff that uses it that turns a high profit. So always keep your brown techs. And that being said, you're going to have to utilize that storage space. So if you can upgrade your storage right before an epic, do it. If you can say, okay, I don't really want to upgrade my beach at this time, I'm going to go ahead and sell off all my beach rares, or just make some room and stock up. Like, try to have like 20 backpacks before you start, 20 microwaves, 20 yoga mats. I usually do that, and then I'll hold like, you know, a couple of each of the regular items. As you can see, my storage space is running out. I might make a part 2 of this video. Actually, I am going to make a part 2 of this video, so go ahead and look for that here in a little bit.